Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose. Damn, still no love? That's what's going on with Terence Crawford, Bomac, and the whole team. If Terence Crawford would have never fought Errol Spence, right? Just think about this. If he and Errol Spence would have never fought, where would Terence Crawford be? He'd still have his WBO belt, and he'd be sitting over there looking to face WBO mandatories and probably still chasing the Errol Spence fight. Who knows? Maybe he would have fought Boots Ennis. We just don't know what would have happened. But what I will say is, what we see going on with Terence Crawford right now, in my opinion, is Terence Crawford getting no love and being back in the same position that he would have been had he never fought Errol Spence. Now, him beating Errol Spence is a blessing and a curse. The blessing is he became undisputed, two-time undisputed. The blessing is he made a whole bunch of money. The blessing is he raised his profile. The blessing is the majority of boxing fans internationally really rate him as the number one pound-for-pound star in the sport of boxing. The curse is still don't have any real opponents for him to face where he can get any credit. So as a result, he got to take a high-risk move, which, the greater the risk, greater the reward. Chances make champions. Find a way to win, find a way to lose. Scared man can't win. So now he's got to go out here, pursuing his dream and overlooking all viable opponents and trying to go directly at Canelo. Now, see, Canelo, to me, in my opinion, I think Canelo would rather be like Terence Crawford right now. I think Canelo would rather be inactive than active in fighting Terence Crawford. And the thing is, Crawford would rather be active instead of sitting around here inactive. I guess the kind of good thing is the sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while, but for Terence Crawford, he's going to shine twice. Because he got it shined on him once for Errol Spence, and he looks like the rematch still floating around out there, but so much rumors of whether it's going to happen or not. But outside of that, Crawford is, look, without Errol Spence, man, Crawford wouldn't be in this position right now. The curse of him beating Errol Spence is Crawford thinking that he can go out here and get big money fights now. And the reality, and this is my opinion, is he can't. Crawford has not proven to be a huge draw. The numbers that he and Spence did, look, it was a complimentary relationship, but I'd have to give all the credit to Errol Spence for that. And it still wasn't what people were hoping. 1.5 million. It's going to do more than Ryan and Tank. No, it didn't. So for Terence Crawford to come out here now and think he's going to make this huge money, how? He's not proven to be able to stand on his own and deliver a successful pay-per-view event. Maybe ticket sales do okay. Maybe the live gate and stuff does okay. But pay-per-view itself, we don't know. And the problem is, he hasn't, been in a fight since Spence to kind of give us a bit of a measuring stick to say, okay, he can do this. And I think the longer he goes without getting in the ring, the more he hurts himself and hurts his marketability, which is going to directly impact his ability to sell pay-per-view. And that's just not the position a guy like Terence Crawford, wants to be in. Don't get me wrong. It took two of them to tango. But I really feel Spence's popularity has, I think it carried that pay-per-view event, and I think it's still kind of carrying the wave that Terence Crawford's riding on. You know, I don't know what Terence Crawford can do at this point in time, but he doesn't have many options because he's too skilled. Even though he's getting a little bit older, he's still too skilled. Too much experience, man. There's no fighting style Crawford hasn't been in the ring with. So when I hear people talking about, oh, well, Boots, it's like a Terence Crawford's fighting Boots. That's going to be a tough fight. And look, even I did a video that said only a ninja could kill a ninja. And Crawford fighting Boots is like fighting himself, two ninjas. But just one ninja, right? Because I'll give him that. It's like a ninja fighting a ninja. Crawford fighting himself in Boots. Boots can do everything Crawford can do. No doubt about that. But you know what the difference is? One ninja is highly experienced. The other one's not. So as a result, you got to favor the experienced ninja to kill off the other ninja. And it's just how it is. But, you know what? I do wonder, right? If Boots and Crawford were to fight, Crawford could become 3-time undisputed. That would be interesting. But what if he fights Boots and he loses? Then the money that he wants isn't there unless the Saudis get involved. I think he would take it then if the Saudis got involved and was like, look, we'll give you $40 million. I think Crawford signed that damn contract so quick. But then he goes up and he fights Canelo. If he loses that fight, I mean, which a lot of people feel he'll win, nobody really gonna hold that loss against him. But he makes good money. But I don't know. What do you do when you clear a division? You know what I'm saying? What do you do when you beat everyone they put in front of you? Guys who were undefeated, guys who had a couple losses, guys who were in their prime, guys who were a little bit beyond their prime. The bottom line is any and everyone they put in front of Terence Crawford, he knocked them down. And now he got to go and challenge himself, to go, up multiple weight classes. One, he's chasing the payday, but two, he's got to challenge himself because there's no one there in his weight division that can mess with him. It kind of reminds me of Roy Jones Jr. having to go play basketball all day, then go box, and going up to heavyweight, and just Roy Jones was so dominant in his weight division, in every weight division that he fought. I think Roy Jones is a 5-time world champion. He was so dominant that some people didn't want to give him the credit he deserved either. But at the end of the day, for Terence Crawford, damn, still no love. My boy can't get the fights he wants, can't stay active, and unfortunately, I don't think that he'll prove to be a pay-per-view draw. I don't think he'll be a box office superstar. I don't think so. And I think he'll finish his career the same way. And the thing about social media is cool. It can work for you. But the boxing fans, man, and I create this content, I've had people message me and say, man, you're different. You don't get caught up in all the racial stuff, and you got a little sense of humor, and, your dialogue's different. But I think people need to understand, everyone has a different background. I'm 48, I'm retired, man. I'm a retired military guy. I don't have a lot of time for bullshit. I like to have fun and joke here and there, but there's a thread in me that's real, real callous. So when it comes to nonsense, man, I don't want that to really show up in these videos. There's a couple videos where I've kind of, a little bit of that came out in me. But I'm not going to get on here and start to encourage people to dislike Terence Crawford or to dislike Tyson Fury. Anyone who follows the channel knows I got a hairy eyeball on Tyson Fury. But I would never come out here and be like, F Tyson Fury and no one should support him and he's this, he's that, he's a piece of, no, I wouldn't do that. I'd say I think that, you know what I talk about with Tyson Fury. But I see there's some channels out here where people, like, they hate Terence Crawford. And that's all they do is get on here and just want to keep talking hate. The way they cuss and they say things about him and insult him, insult his kids, insult his wife, his family, I mean, I think that's hurt Terence Crawford too. Because there's so many people out here who are bandwagonists, they just jump on the bandwagon and they start following suit. And I think that can really hurt fighters, hurt any athlete, if someone can get a movement going to make people dislike or hate or not support them. And I don't think that's been fair to Terence Crawford, man. Terence Crawford hasn't really done or said anything for me to understand how people could say those things about him. But I do think when you get on social media, like, to me, Twitter is the most toxic social media platform on the planet. But a lot of these guys want to go to Twitter, and that gives any and everybody an opportunity to interact with some of your favorite athletes, stars, personalities. But I just think for some of these guys, when they come out there and sometimes the grammar is poor, sometimes the things they say are a little bit, abrasive. And that doesn't do anything but exacerbate the issue, and going forward, we just have to see, man. There's a lot of rumors about big things in the pipeline for Terence Crawford, but I personally think he needs to win a fight sooner than later. A fight against anybody at this point in time, because Terence Crawford doesn't have much time left, and I think the more he waits, the more his market value is going to go down. And I think it's going to reach a point where even Canelo is like, unless the PBC can make that fight, what's the motivation for Canelo to fight Terence Crawford? Now, Canelo fighting Errol Spence, I've been saying that Canelo going to mess around and fight Errol Spence. That's the fight they were trying to make. There's more money in Canelo fighting Spence than fighting Crawford. There's more risk in Canelo fighting Crawford than fighting Spence. I don't know. Crawford is in a bad space, and to me it seems like he's still not getting no love. But we'll see what happens in the next month or so. I have a feeling by the end. Matter of fact, now, yeah, I think by the end of February we'll get some kind of activity, some kind of direction on what exactly is next for Crawford. When you see Bo Mack get in front of a camera and start talking and saying little things, that means that obviously there's some things coming down the pipeline, but they just don't want to come out and divulge that to the public. But hopefully he gets back in the ring sooner than later, because to reach a high in his career and to think that now I can cash in, now I can make the fights I want, and then the reality is, no, you can't. That's got to be pretty discouraging and demoralizing for a guy like Terence Crawford. Kind of like Winky Wright. Winky Wright fought everybody. Out here whipping everybody's ass. Shane Mosley twice. Fernando Vargas. Tito Trinidad. There was supposed to be a rematch with Winky Wright and Tito Trinidad, but it didn't happen because Winky Wright almost, he tranquilized the shit out of Tito Trinidad with his jab. So what I'm getting at is, sometimes there are guys in boxing who just they're not appreciated and get the opportunities they deserve, because fans don't get behind them like they should. And like Winky Wright, I think Terence Crawford is another example of a guy who deserves a whole lot of praise, more activity, huge fights, huge paydays, but the fans aren't behind him. And as a result, he can't get there. And I think it's unfortunate. But who knows? Next week we may find out Terence Crawford fighting Canelo in Saudi, $100 million payday. You just don't know what's going on with boxing right now. Anything can happen, right? That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents. Damn. Still no love for Crawford. I'm in the breeze.